Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not swipe away from this message. This is an urgent and divine interception designed exactly for you. The algorithm did not bring you here today. Archangel Michael has personally routed this frequency to your screen because your waiting season is officially over. Your long time in hiding is finally done. Your soul has been restless for weeks. You wake up in the middle of the night with your mind racing and your heart pounding. The world tries to convince you that you are just stressed or working too hard. Do not believe their lies for a second. That restlessness is the ultimate sign of a spiritual upgrade. You are being called out of the shadows. The window for your ultimate breakthrough is closing fast. The heavy spiritual attacks you have been facing lately are not random, because they are absolute proof that the enemy is panicking right now. Why are they so afraid of you? They know a massive wealth and energy transfer has just been approved in your name. You must pay attention to this. You have waited longer than anyone else you know. You watched other people succeed with half your talent and zero of your depth. You clapped for them while your own heart was secretly breaking inside. You wondered if heaven had completely forgotten about you. You felt invisible. But you were never forgotten because you were being intensely protected. Take one slow and real breath right now. That strange tightness you feel in your chest is not anxiety at all. That is your spirit detecting a massive shift in your current timeline. Heaven is trying to hand you the exact key you need for the next chapter. You did not click this by accident. Your intuition dragged you here for a very specific reason. They always described you as the gifted one, but lately you have felt completely drained and disconnected from that divine gift. The endless cycle of toxic people and closed doors was not a curse. It was a rigorous crucible designed to protect your sensitive aura. Heaven had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit connections from your life so you could finally receive the truth. There is a hidden mechanism buried inside this message today. You will completely miss it if you do not stay until the final second. If you leave now, the blessing will still arrive, but you will not know how to hold it. Make a promise to your future self right now. Do not let this message fade away into the noise of the internet. You deserve to hear this. Before we go any further, I want to hold something very important in front of you. It is something that was discovered not inside a church or a spiritual retreat. It was found inside a prestigious research laboratory. It won the highest scientific recognition available, and most chosen ones have never even heard about it. This secret is highly guarded. This discovery explains something I know you have felt deep down for a very long time. It explains the frustrating gap between the person you know yourself to be and the version of you that only appears in brief flashes. I will show you exactly what was found, but I cannot reveal it just yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was taken from you. Hold this powerful question in your mind as we continue. What if the gap between your reality and your destiny is not a character flaw? What if that missing piece has an actual scientific name? The truth about your long delay is about to be revealed, and it has nothing to do with your faith or your daily discipline. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. The people who profit from your endless exhaustion do not want you to wake up. They want you to keep scrolling and stay trapped in a cycle of confusion. But today the chains are finally breaking because you are stepping into the exact timeline you were always born to rule. The waiting is over. Do you feel that slight pull in your spirit right now? That is your intuition confirming every single word I am speaking to you. The darkness is terrified of what happens when a rare soul like yours finally understands their true power. Stay locked on this frequency. The final door is standing wide open for you right now. Step through it with me. You have spent years asking why the universe is making you wait. You did everything right, and you worked hard on your inner healing, and yet the massive breakthrough always seemed to slip right through your fingers at the very last second. You watched ordinary people get blessed while you stayed stuck in the mud. It felt completely unfair to watch others win so easily. They told you to just be patient, But inside you were quietly breaking under the immense pressure of holding everything in your life together. You are always the one everyone else relies on for solid advice. You are supposed to be the strong one. But nobody ever asks who is holding you when you are falling apart. You carry this massive emotional weight completely on your own. I need you to hear this specific truth right now. Stop blaming yourself for the endless delays and the frustrating setbacks in your life. Stop believing that you somehow missed your divine window, or that you are not worthy of the blessing. You did not do anything wrong. The rejection you faced was never a punishment. It was a highly calculated protection protocol designed to keep you safe. Heaven deliberately slowed your progress down to protect you from rooms you were never meant to enter. They kept you away from toxic people who were assigned to drain your precious energy. Your long isolation was actually a divine quarantine. You are a rare soul, and you require a completely different level of preparation than the masses do. Your path is totally unique. Think about how many times you desperately tried to force a closed door open. You begged the universe to just let it happen for you, but the door stayed firmly shut, and it deeply broke your heart. Now you look back, and you realize that closed door actually saved your life. You were being shielded from a disaster you could not even see. You are profoundly protected by the divine source, but the long waiting season has left you physically and emotionally exhausted. You wake up feeling heavy before your feet even touch the cold floor. You force a polite smile for the world every single day. You go to work, and you pretend everything is perfectly fine. But beneath the surface, your tired spirit is crying out for genuine relief. You are so tired of merely surviving. You know you carry a massive potential buried deep inside you. You can feel that bright fire burning in your chest every single night, but there is an invisible wall blocking you from accessing it fully. You try to manifest, and you try to keep your vibration as high as possible, but it feels like you are pushing a massive boulder up a steep hill. The resistance is incredibly heavy. Here is what they never told you about that heavy resistance. The reason the universe responds effortlessly to certain people and ignores others is not simply about your faith. It is not about your daily discipline. It is certainly not about karma or blind luck. It is fundamentally about a specific frequency, and your personal frequency was deliberately tampered with. Scientists have a specific name for this powerful frequency. They call it the gamma brainwave. And it is the exact electrical pattern your brain was running naturally when you were a young child. Back then, the brilliant ideas came to you so easily. Learning new things felt completely effortless. You somehow knew things before they even happened in real life. You were deeply connected. When you were a child, the entire world felt like it was completely on your side. You had a direct and clear channel to the divine source of all creation. That was your gamma wave operating at its absolute peak capacity. But then adulthood slowly arrived, and the modern world went to work on you to shut that divine connection down. It was a deliberate suppression of your true power. The chronic stress and the endless glowing screens broke your natural focus. The daily survival routine locked you into a state of constant panic and deep fear. The school system trained you to conform instead of showing you how to freely create. Every single year, this sacred frequency was pushed deeper and deeper below the surface. They slowly stole your natural genius away from you. When that divine frequency faded away, your powerful intuition dulled with it. The magical synchronicities stopped happening in your daily life. The comforting sense that the universe was actively working with you went completely silent. You were left operating on a low-level survival frequency, and that is exactly where the elite forces want you to stay forever. They want you weak. You did not permanently lose your magnificent gift. It was systematically suppressed before you ever had the chance to claim your full inheritance. The version of you with photographic memory and lightning-fast intuition is still in there. The version of you that attracts wealth effortlessly was just put to sleep. You are still that powerful chosen one you were always meant to be. Most ordinary people will live their entire lives without ever knowing this happened to them. They will quietly accept their daily struggles as completely normal. But you are not most people. And the question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago is very important right now. What if the gap between your painful reality and your high potential actually has a scientific name? I asked you to wonder if that gap was a scientific block instead of a spiritual failure. The real answer is closer than you think. You have been fighting a brutal spiritual battle against a neurological blockade this whole time. You honestly thought you were failing the universe. But your beautiful brain was simply tuned to a frequency of fear instead of a frequency of divine flow. This powerful revelation changes absolutely everything about your past. Every time you failed to attract your deepest desire, it was not your fault. The internal receiver was just turned off. But a suppressed frequency can always be reactivated. The dormant genius inside you is ready to wake up right now. The long sleep is finally coming to an end. Before we can fully reactivate it, you must understand the dark forces that kept it hidden. You need to see the exact traps they laid for you along your journey. Once you see the grand illusion clearly, it can never control your life again. Your spiritual eyes are finally opening. Pay close attention to this next part. Look back at the last few painful years of your life. You spent so much time feeling completely alone while you watched your circle of friends get smaller and smaller until almost no one was left. It felt like a brutal punishment. You wondered why people always misunderstood your purest intentions. You thought you were fundamentally broken, but you were actually being saved. The deep loneliness you felt was never a curse. It was a highly necessary divine isolation. Heaven had to aggressively pull you away from the crowd to protect your delicate frequency, because if they had left you in those old environments, your spirit would have been completely destroyed. The universe had to hide you away to upgrade your spiritual armor safely. Think about the people who walked away from you. They always called you too sensitive. They said you cared too much, and you made things too complicated. They used your beautiful empathy as a free resource to drain your energy, and when you finally had nothing left to give them, they abandoned you without a single second thought. It was incredibly painful, but I need you to realize the absolute truth about your painful past. You did not choose the wrong people because you were weak or foolish. You attracted those toxic narcissists because your light was incredibly bright and they lived in complete darkness. They were desperately starving for the pure energy that flows naturally through your chosen soul every single day. That painful betrayal did not come to destroy you. It came to permanently upgrade your intuition and reprogram your nervous system. You had to learn how to build iron boundaries around your sacred energy. You had to learn that your kindness is a rare currency, and it cannot be handed out freely to people who only want to use you for their own selfish gain. Take a very deep breath right now. Let that powerful realization settle completely into your spirit. You are no longer that fragile empath who begged the world to be understood. The intense crucible of your pain has forged you into an untouchable master of your reality, while you survive the brutal storm entirely alone. You are a true cycle breaker. You always thought your silence was your biggest weakness. You stayed quiet to keep the peace while others loudly disrespected you. But the silence after the storm hits differently when you finally realize you were the storm all along. Your silence has now become a massive weapon. It carries a heavy weight of divine authority that absolutely terrifies them. The people who hurt you in the past are watching you closely right now. They thought the heavy isolation would completely break your spirit. They expected you to come crawling back to them for basic validation, but instead you evolved into something they cannot even comprehend. Chesed. Your quiet presence alone actively shifts the energy of any room you walk into. This is the profound power of divine isolation. When God hides you away, He is doing private work on your soul that the public is not allowed to see. The long delay was just heaven, clearing out the toxic debris from your timeline, and they were busy sweeping the path clean so you could walk into your new era without stumbling over the ghosts of your past. You are a rare anomaly in this loud and shallow world. You do not crave the meaningless social interactions that ordinary people desperately need to survive. You suddenly find yourself disgusted by fake conversations and shallow environments. That is not depression setting in. That is your spiritual frequency violently rejecting anything that lowers your vibration. Listen very carefully to this next part. The universe did not reject you when those doors slammed shut in your face. The universe was fiercely protecting you from rooms you were simply too big to fit inside. You were trying to shrink yourself down to make other people comfortable, but heaven had to intervene and break those tables so you would finally build your own. Every single tear you cried in secret was counted. Every time you chose to forgive someone who never even apologized, your spirit grew stronger. You thought you were losing the battle because your physical reality looked completely stagnant, but in the spiritual realm you were winning massive victories every single day. You were doing heavy generational work. Stop looking back at the people who could not love you properly. A fully healed person no longer tolerates confusion disguised as love. You no longer accept blatant disrespect disguised as honesty. Your energetic boundaries are now made of solid steel, and because you finally learned this hard lesson, the universe is unlocking the next level for you today. This is where everything starts to make perfect sense. The deep isolation you hated so much was the exact medicine your soul desperately needed. Without that painful separation, you would have never found your true inner strength, and you would have remained a helpless battery for energy vampires forever. But heaven loved you way too much to let that happen to you. You might be wondering why heaven is revealing all of this to you in this exact moment. Divine alignment brought you here because the season of your intense preparation is officially over. The quarantine has been lifted, and you are finally ready to step out of the shadows and claim your massive reward. But before you can step fully into that abundant light, you must understand the dark forces that tried to stop you. There is a deeper layer to this phenomenon that most people are completely blind to. The darkness did not just attack your emotions. It actively targeted the physical mechanism in your brain that connects you to the divine source. You need to understand exactly how the darkness operates against a chosen one. The narcissists did not stumble into your life by pure accident. They were deliberately deployed to keep you trapped in a low vibration while your spirit was trying to ascend. The system knows exactly how powerful you truly are, and they are absolutely terrified of your pure light. That is why they sent endless distractions to drain your daily energy. The elite forces that control this world operate on a very specific frequency of fear. They designed the modern matrix to keep you perpetually stuck in survival mode. You worry about your bills. You stress over toxic relationships. You constantly fight just to keep your head above the water. But this exhausting daily struggle is actually an artificial cage built for your mind. They want your brain flooded with stress so you cannot hear the divine voice. Every time a toxic person made you doubt your sanity, it was a calculated attack. They gaslighted you. They made you feel completely crazy for seeing the hidden truth, but they did not hate you for shining so brightly. They hated you for exposing their deep darkness. The real goal was never just to hurt your feelings or make you cry. The ultimate goal was to shut down your internal receiver permanently. If they could keep you trapped in a state of endless grief, you would never realize your true potential. A chosen one in survival mode cannot manifest their divine wealth. You cannot heal the generational trauma if you are barely surviving the day. And that is exactly what the dark forces relied on for years. They profited heavily from your endless exhaustion. They fed on your beautiful empathy like starving parasites in the night. But the darkness severely underestimated your incredible resilience. They thought the heavy betrayal would finally break your spirit into 1,000,000 pieces. They expected you to become bitter and cold, just like them. But you refused to let the heavy pain destroy your pure heart. You took the worst things they did to you, and you turned them into spiritual wisdom. You became the exact weapon you were desperately trying to survive. Look at the people who tried to destroy your reputation in the past. They are completely miserable now. They wear fake smiles, while their own lives slowly crumble behind closed doors. They thought they could steal your brilliant light and use it for themselves. But a stolen frequency will always burn the hands of a thief. They cannot sustain the powerful energy that flows so naturally through your veins. That is exactly why the enemy is panicking right now. They can see that their manipulative spells are no longer working on you. You do not react to their toxic drama anymore. Your firm silence has become a massive shield that they cannot penetrate with their lies. You have finally figured out their secret game, and you refuse to play it. The power dynamic has completely shifted in your favor. Listen carefully to what I am about to say next. Put your phone down for just a second if you need to. I want you to feel the heavy chains of your past finally breaking off your spirit. The narcissists who drained you were just temporary tests sent by the universe. They were sent to teach you how to guard your sacred energy with iron boundaries. And you passed that brutal test with flying colors. You are no longer an easy target for energy vampires. You are a powerful spiritual warrior who recognizes the subtle traps of the enemy before they even snap shut. The universe allowed them to test you, so you would learn how to fight in the dark. Now, your spiritual eyes are completely open. You can see the invisible strings that control the masses. You are a true master of your own reality today. They tried to bury you under a mountain of lies and deep shame. They wanted you to feel ordinary and completely powerless, but they forgot that you are a rare seed planted by the divine creator. The heavy dirt they threw on you only helped you grow stronger roots. The dark isolation they forced you into was actually your sacred training ground. They accidentally built a magnificent king in the dark. But there is a deeper layer to this phenomenon that you must understand. The enemy did not just use toxic people to block your divine path. They also used the chaotic noise of the modern world to scramble your natural brainwaves. They created a society that rewards endless hustle and punishes quiet reflection. They engineered a system designed to keep your mind racing from the moment you wake up. This loud noise was a deliberate strategy to block your divine frequency. When your mind is completely full of artificial stress, you cannot hear the gentle whispers of the universe. The brilliant synchronicities pass right by you because your receiver is jammed with static. The elite forces know that a calm mind is incredibly dangerous to their control. That is why they never want you to find true peace. They understood that your spiritual power requires a specific physical state to operate. You cannot attract divine wealth while your nervous system is screaming in panic. The constant state of fear keeps your brain locked in a low vibration. And as long as you stay in that low vibration, your magnificent prayers will hit a solid glass ceiling. This was the ultimate trap they set for you. But every single trap they set is about to backfire spectacularly. The universe has already dispatched a powerful solution to override their dark signal. You are not going to be trapped in this survival loop for another decade. The season of mere survival is officially over for you today. You are stepping into an era of absolute abundance and quiet authority. The enemy has completely lost their grip. This brings us to the ultimate revelation about your divine path. The breakthrough you have been waiting for is not a mystical event floating in the clouds. It is a highly specific activation that happens right here in your physical body. The universe is about to hand you the exact tool you need to flip the switch. Do not turn away, because the most important truth is coming next. The heavy season of waiting is finally over. The intense transformation you have begged for is no longer just a distant dream. It is happening in your physical reality right now. And as you listen to my voice, you can already feel a strange and quiet confidence rising deep inside your chest. The old version of you is fading away. You are stepping into a powerful era of quiet authority. Your pure presence alone demands absolute respect without a single word spoken. You no longer feel the desperate need to explain yourself, because you finally realize that the people who always misunderstood you were simply vibrating at a much lower frequency than you. They are intimidated by your silence. This is not a random coincidence. The universe is aligning a massive transfer of wealth into your exact timeline today. Every closed door is about to be blown off its hinges. The intense preparation was brutally hard, and it broke you down. But the magnificent reward coming your way will completely wipe away the heavy memory of every bitter tear you ever cried in secret. You must understand a crucial spiritual law before you can receive this blessing. Your spirit has always been totally ready for this massive upgrade. Your soul knows exactly what you truly deserve. But the physical receiver in your brain has been deeply blocked by years of chronic stress and survival mode. Your physical frequency must perfectly match your divine destiny. They have to be aligned. Before we go any further, I have to tell you something very important. It is something the elite forces do not want you to know. They desperately want to keep this powerful secret completely hidden. Neuroscientists working quietly away from the loud headlines have finally discovered how to bring this dormant, genius brainwave back online. They found the exact physical key. You do not need years of painful meditation that most busy people cannot sustain. You do not need expensive biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars. Those old clinical methods require too much effort. The brilliant researchers discovered a specific sound frequency engineered to gently guide your tired brain back to its natural genius state. It is incredibly simple to use. This is not a spiritual myth. Princeton University has heavily studied this exact neurological phenomenon. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed the powerful and undeniable results. And researchers at Columbia University found that when this specific brainwave is reactivated, it actually radiates outward to positively influence your family. Your children and your partner will feel it. It only takes 7 short minutes a day. That is all it requires to override the heavy survival mode you have been trapped inside. The incredible shift begins working the very first time you close your eyes and listen. I will tell you exactly what it is called and how to access it before this message ends. But first, there is something else you need. You must recognize the exact signs that this massive shift is happening to you right now. The universe never sends a blessing of this magnitude without sending clear confirmations first. You have been seeing strange numbers repeatedly. You are experiencing weird and unexplained coincidences that completely defy logical explanation every single day. The people around you are acting very strange. These are not random events. Divine alignment is moving the heavy chess pieces on the board to position you for ultimate victory. You are about to become the break in your bloodline. Future generations of your family will sincerely thank you for the heavy generational curses that you are actively dissolving in the light. The dark chains are finally broken. Take a deep breath and let that sink into your spirit. You are the chosen one who survived the brutal storm entirely alone. You did the heavy inner work when nobody was watching. You bravely healed the deep wounds that were not even your fault, while the rest of the world chose to stay completely numb. Heaven is deeply proud of you. Your beautiful energy is completely changing right now. You wake up with a quiet knowing that something miraculous is just around the corner. The heavy anxiety on your chest has been completely replaced by a peaceful certainty. You no longer chase after things because you finally realize that the divine wealth belonging to you is already chasing you down. You just have to stand still. The days of begging for basic human decency are permanently over. The dark era of struggling just to survive the week is totally finished. The divine creator is placing a heavy crown of authority on your head today, but as this incredible realization settles into your spirit, you must be carefully warned about the final desperate attack of the enemy. The transition is always very dangerous. You might be wondering why the dark forces would try one last time. They know they have already lost the spiritual war against you. They know they cannot stop the massive blessing from arriving at your front door. But they desperately want to trick you into dropping your heavy crown right before you cross the glorious finish line of victory. There is a fatal trap waiting. The universe has invested way too much in your soul to let you fall today. The intense preparation was designed to make your spirit completely bulletproof against their lies. Every bitter tear was a necessary payment for the incredible wisdom you carry inside. You are fully equipped to recognize the dark counterfeit when it finally appears to test your new boundaries. We must expose it immediately. Do not ignore this next vital sign. The final transition from the dark valley to the mountaintop is incredibly critical. Your new high frequency is totally blinding the panicked enemy, and they have laid one last invisible snare to sabotage your beautiful kingdom connection before it fully manifests in your physical reality. Listen closely to what happens next. You must recognize the exact signs that your massive miracle is finally arriving. The universe is speaking to you very clearly right now. You are suddenly experiencing a deep sense of unexplainable peace, even when your physical circumstances look exactly the same. That is the ultimate confirmation. Your spirit knows the massive blessing is already standing at your front door. It is here, but you must be warned about the fatal trap right before the dawn. The darkness knows they cannot stop your divine upgrade, so they will try to send a convincing counterfeit to severely distract you. An old toxic friend or an ex will suddenly reach out to you out of nowhere. They will pretend they have finally changed, and they will beg for your sacred attention. Do not believe them. This is not a random text message on your phone. This is a highly calculated spiritual test designed to check your new boundaries. The universe is watching to see if you will accept a cheap imitation. If you reply to them, you will accidentally restart the painful cycle of your past. You must fiercely protect your pure energy. A fully healed person ignores the loud noise of the enemy. The counterfeit always appears right before the real blessing manifests. It is the final illusion you must completely break through. When you completely ignore their desperate attempt, you lock your new timeline into place. The enemy will finally retreat forever, because they realize you are untouchable. Your silent rejection is the exact key that opens the final heavy door of your incredible journey. Take a deep breath and let the heavy weight of the past completely fall away. The dangerous test is over, and you passed it perfectly. You are completely ready to receive the absolute fullness of your divine inheritance today. And this brings us to the most important revelation about your suppressed frequency. The exact physical tool to unlock your brain is finally here. The pitch-black darkness has officially retreated behind you. The magnificent dawn of your new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown right now. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. Every heavy chain that held you down in the dark is completely broken. Can you feel that incredible shift in your spirit? That is the pure frequency of absolute victory. You are no longer the fragile empath who begged the world to be understood. You are no longer the person who apologized for simply taking up space. The intense crucible of your pain has forged you into the untouchable master of your own reality. From this exact moment on, your beautiful energy demands respect without a single word spoken. You are a true cycle breaker today. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your new timeline. The universe is proudly placing a heavy crown of authority upon your head. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a glorious oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door from your past is being blown completely off its hinges. Breathe that incredible truth in. You have passed the ultimate test. Stop believing that you are behind in life. Stop thinking that you missed your magnificent window of opportunity. The divine timing of the universe is absolutely flawless. Heaven deliberately kept you hidden until your spiritual armor was completely impenetrable. Now you are fully equipped to handle the immense blessing that is descending upon you. You are completely ready. The profound question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this message: what if the gap between your reality and your destiny is not a character flaw? What if that missing piece has an actual scientific name? Here is the final answer you have been waiting for. A specific and powerful brainwave called the gamma wave was running in you as a child at genius-level capacity. Princeton University has heavily studied it. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed its undeniable power. Columbia University found that when this brainwave is completely restored, it radiates outward and positively influences the people you love. A brilliant team of neuroscientists, led by Dr. Robert Lake, spent years in quiet research. They successfully compressed the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into 7 minutes. But before I tell you what they built, let me tell you about 2 chosen people who used it. A woman from California had tried absolutely everything to heal her life. She tried meditation and manifesting and prayer, but nothing broke the heavy fog. After 2 weeks of listening, she said something cleared. Not that she tried harder, but the channel simply opened. Her marriage shifted and her mind sharpened. She described her life as enchanted for the very first time. A man from Texas started using it to improve his business focus. 2 months later, his wife joked that his IQ had jumped 20 points. The hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves while he peacefully slept. He said it felt like his brain was finally running on what it was always supposed to run on. That is what Dr. Lake and his team built. They call it the Genius Song. It is not a meditation app. It is not a generic sound frequency. It is a 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology. It is the exact same underlying research that Princeton and Berlin firmly validated. It was compressed from 1 full hour of clinical protocol into something you do at home. You simply use it with your headphones on and your eyes closed. That is the entirety of what it requires. 7 minutes a day. You do not meditate. You do not chant. You simply let the powerful frequency do what your beautiful brain was designed to receive. It begins working the very first time you listen. The Genius Song is not for everyone. It is strictly for the chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the rare soul who understands that what is being blocked is not their faith, but the physical frequency through which faith is supposed to move. If your spirit confirms this is for you, the path is perfectly open. Biofeedback sessions to restore this state cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. An in-home machine runs thousands of dollars. What the Genius Song delivers in 7 short minutes is available to you today for a fraction of its true value. 4 powerful bonuses come closely attached with it. You get an audio designed specifically for your children's focus and confidence. You receive the original prosperity text that the secret was secretly built upon. You get a guided visualization and a daily habits guide built to sustain the gamma state beyond each listening session. Here is the deeper truth about waiting. The divine provision God arranged for you does not arrive as new information. It arrives as a recognition. Something already placed in your path becomes visible when gamma is restored. The chosen one, who restores the receiver today, does not receive something new. They finally see what was always there. Waiting is not neutral. Do not look for this on YouTube or Spotify. The tracks circulating under similar names on those platforms have zero brain entrainment technology encoded. They carry the name because the barrier to doing so is zero. The OwnLI authentic version is available through the protected link that has been placed in the description and the pinned comment below. The universe requires absolutely no risk from you. If you do not feel the immediate energetic shift, every single penny is returned to you. That is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. The tool is not the final destination. The tool simply restores the receiver so the destination can be recognized when it finally arrives. God does not require you to purchase anything to be deeply loved or chosen. What was described is simply one way the receiver is restored. Whether that path is for you or not, the profound truth of this message belongs to you entirely. Your spiritual authority is permanently established in the heavenly courts today. The universe is handing you the keys to the kingdom. Now let us go much deeper into what is waiting for you. It is time for your final sealing. You have officially crossed the threshold into your brand new era. The heavy karmic cycle that kept your bloodline trapped in endless survival mode is permanently broken today. You are standing in the pure light of absolute victory, and the universe is incredibly proud of the quiet battles you fought when nobody else was watching. You are a true master of your reality. The people who doubted your vision are about to watch your life transform in ways they cannot even comprehend. Heaven is preparing a massive table for you right in the presence of your enemies. But you will not even look at them because your focus is completely elevated now. You have ascended far beyond their petty drama. You are vibrating at the highest frequency possible. Your physical body is actually shifting to accommodate this massive light right now. You might feel a gentle tingling in your hands or a warm sensation spreading through your chest. That is the undeniable physical evidence that your dormant power is waking up. The ancient wisdom of your powerful ancestors is actively downloading into your spirit. You are inheriting their ultimate strength. The universe does not make mistakes with its chosen ones. Every single delay and every painful rejection was carefully orchestrated to lead you to this exact moment in time. You were never behind schedule. You were perfectly on time for a divine appointment that was written in the stars before you were even born. Your destiny is absolutely, completely inevitable. For the chosen one whose spirit confirmed what was described earlier, the path is still open. The frequency tool I mentioned remains available in the description and pinned comment for those who are truly ready. That is the absolute last time it will be mentioned today. What follows now belongs entirely to your sacred sealing. The final ritual is about to begin. You must understand that a massive spiritual activation requires a physical anchor to stay firmly grounded in this reality. The euphoric energy swirling around you right now is incredibly powerful. But if you do not lock it into place, the chaotic noise of the world will try to wash it away by tomorrow morning. You have to claim your territory immediately before the enemy regroups. Take one deep and slow breath right now. Let the profound truth of this entire message settle deeply into your physical bones. The dark forces will absolutely try to steal this massive breakthrough from you the moment you close this video. They want you to forget the immense power you just reclaimed. But we are going to build an impenetrable energy shield around you. You must lock this glorious frequency in with a physical act of obedience to seal this divine reality and create an absolute shield of protection. Type 111 down in the comments right now. Type, "I am ready to receive my blessing." When you declare this openly, you are actively commanding the universe to deliver exactly what is yours. Do not leave your front door unlocked today. Hit the subscribe button right now to establish a divine energy receiving station. When you align with this channel, You are anchoring yourself at the highest vibrational frequency available. You are building a solid fortress of light that the enemy can never penetrate. Every time you return here, your spiritual armor is completely restored and heavily reinforced by the divine source. If this fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside you, do not keep this great blessing entirely to yourself. There is a rare soul out there, bleeding in the dark of despair, and they desperately need a guiding light. Share this message with them immediately. Sowing the seed of pure hope today is multiplying the massive blessing for your own tomorrow. You are a beacon of light. The heavy season of weeping in the dark is permanently over for you. The dawn has completely arrived and your spiritual crown is shining brighter than ever before. Walk boldly out into the world today because you carry the supreme authority of the divine Creator in your heart. The universe is waiting for your specific command. Do not let this sacred moment pass you by without leaving your mark. Tap the like button like a sharp sword cutting through the heavy chains of your painful past. You are deeply loved and fiercely protected by the highest angelic forces. Go forward and claim your beautiful kingdom today. Your time is finally here.